This video is going to be one of the most controversial videos that I'm probably going to make. Do Caucasians have a soul? I mean, this is a legitimate question when we review history, when we check the track record of the Caucasians. Being that their history is written in bloodshed, everywhere that they went on the planet Earth, they slaughtered the natives, which we call today black people. Every continent they went on, they slaughtered. Took over their lands, changed their names, their cultures, changed their spiritual way of life, totally annihilated their way of life, enslaved, colonized through mass murder, genocide on certain natives on the planet, like the Australians, the black people in Australia, totally annihilated the Tasmanian people. So this is a legitimate question. Do Caucasians have a soul? First, we must understand what a soul is in order to understand the entire totality in its fullness. The soul is the highest spectrum of light, is in the highest dimension of a form. It's a body in the shape of a physical body. So it is the vehicle, the best vehicle that your consciousness can possibly latch on to. That's the soul. Okay? It is an electrical body. It is a body that doesn't require any substance to recharge it. It is a generator itself. It is an interdimensional body that will allow you to go to any dimension. If I didn't say it, I'm going to say it now. I'm going to just repeat it. It's actually our original body. It's our light vehicle. In reality, it's the body of God. The soul is. The physical body is the prison house. It locks away the solar body. Now, do Caucasians have a soul? Let's just look at this. I mean, if you go off history and review, the bloodshed that was shed throughout history since they've been on the planet, common sense would just say no. Soul is supposed to be a divine vehicle or a divine substance that makes a person, just act righteous for the majority part. Because it's strictly from the Creator, the first thought in the universe, the first force in the universe, the force that caused order, that created the universal laws to form up structure and organization. Okay, this is the Creator that I'm speaking of. So just going off common sense without really dwelling into it, looking at the past of the Caucasian, you would say no. But, that's right, there's a but. Everything must be challenged. Now, when a person, see right now, us being on the physical plane, we are all operating from ego. For the most part, we're operating from the ego. The soul is asleep, imprisoned inside the physical body. This is the point of Kundalini awakening. The cosmic current, Kundalini, is your soul. So everybody got soul. I don't give a fuck what color you is, because everybody got chakras. Everybody got Kundalini. Okay? If your ass in a human body. Or if your ass in mankind has a soul. Because everybody not human. Okay, we can talk about that later, but we're gonna get to where I'm trying to go. So the soul is the cosmic current Kundalini. Okay, and once the soul actually awakens, the ego becomes dormant. It shuts off. Okay, so now think about this. The Kundalini is an electrical current. It's like literally an internal cosmic sun within you. This is why the Egyptians talked about Amun-Ra, the hidden light, the hidden sun. Okay? Amun means hidden. Ra, sun. And then when you look at the word Yahweh in Hebrew and you stack the letters on top, it looks like a fiery human. So Yahweh represents the fiery cosmic current within you. That's why the Hebrew language is a fire language. Okay? When you put it in spelling, yeah, it look like fire. But it's literally the cosmic current. That's what it represents. The Kundalini. Now, I done said this, but we got to break this shit all the way down. I said this before. But we just got to break it all the way down, so it must be said. If you can't absorb the solar rays coming from this outside sun, which we see day to day, and you get burnt by it because your melanocytes cannot digest it, there is no way in the fuck you are going to absorb the cosmic current Kundalini, which resides within you. But let's just say that it goes straight up to Shishuna, and you're able to withstand the cosmic current Kundalini. Because normally, if you can't absorb the outside sun, ain't no way in the fuck you're going to absorb the internal sun Kundalini when it awakens in you. This will cause you internal combustion. Okay, research, when y'all get a chance, research cases of internal combustion due to Kundalini awakening. Okay, so you have some people that have sulfur melanin and it burns once the sun rays hit it. Then you got some dark skinned people have neuromelanin and it absorbs the sun rays. Because of course the black body was designed to absorb the entire electromagnetic spectrum of the sun. Okay, this is why in the ancient world they called themselves children of the sun. But anyway, you even got some people that's breatharians. They eat strictly from the sun. They don't have to get a byproduct of the sun, which are plants and, vegetables and stuff like that to eat photons. They get the photons straight from the source, which is the sun. Now, if your pineal gland is calcified and you awaken the cosmic current Kundalini, if it's calcified, it's irrelevant. Your soul is irrelevant. It's there, but it's irrelevant. You can't awaken it. Because the pineal gland is the seat of the soul. And if you read source field investigations by David Wilcox, this is what he say. He say 85 to 90% of Caucasians have calcified pineal glands. He said the race on the planet that has the least amount of calcification, first is the African or black people, so-called black people, or the natives on the planet, and the Japanese people. They have the least amount of calcification, which means that they can awaken the soul and actually dwell in that realm, higher realms. So 85% of Caucasians, according to David Wilcox in his book, The Source Field Investigation, y'all go check it out. He says that he's talking about his own race because he's a Caucasian. He said 85% have calcified pineal glands. Again, the pineal gland is the seat of the soul. So the Kundalini awakens, the soul awakens from the root chakra, okay, or your gooch area between the anal cavity and the male's testicles. It awakens in that spot and it goes up your tree of life, which is your spinal cord, and it goes up these 33 vertebrae. Hence, we know they say Jesus died at 33, but it's talking about damn 33 vertebrae in the spinal cord, which is the tree of life, or the garden in the Garden of Eden. And the garden is the physical body, and the apple in the garden is the pineal gland. That's the ambrosia. And the serpent is coiled up 3 times at the base of the spine, and once it is awakened, the sleeping giant goes up your tree of life, Jacob's ladder. Remember, Jacob wrestled with the angel till he conquered the angel, and once he conquered the angel, he saw the face of God, whom he called pineal, or pineal, which is the pineal gland. So the face of God is the pineal gland, and the pineal gland is actually a miniature universe. This is why the kingdom is within you. Jacob wrestled with the angel of light. He wrestled with Uriel, okay, aka Lucifer. That's the angel that he wrestled with. So when they say Lucifer fell from heaven, God damn it, he fell from the pineal gland to the root chakra. That's why they say he went to hell, because the root chakra is red. Okay? It's the very lowest chakra according to all, like when it comes to main chakras, the 7 major chakras. Of course, we know we got more than that, like 150 or something like that. The little minor ones. But the major chakras are the 7 major chakras, which is known as the Elohim in the Bible. Where it say God said, let there be light. In the Hebrew text, it say the Elohim said, let there be light, which is plural. Okay? Gods. Then the God said, let there be light. So it's talking about the 7 major chakras. Alright? So, the majority Caucasians, according to David Wilcox, according to science, because the neuromelanin, calcified pineal gland, the majority do not have a useful soul. They have soul now. Otherwise, well, wait a minute, let me take that back. According to this shit, y'all, this shit debatable. According to the Lama from Tibet, Lob Saint Tuesday Ramper, and according to the raw material, book 1, in both books they say that anybody that can murder, go to sleep at night without a guilty conscience, these beings are second dimensional elementals. They are elementals. They don't have a soul. So when you check the record of Caucasian people, according to history now, according to the Lamas in the book, the raw materials that was, supposed to have been channeled from the Blue Avians to some lady. She was used as a channel. The Blue Avians is supposed to be six-dimensional beings. They said that basically the Caucasians have no soul. At least the ones that was doing all the murdering and shit. Okay? That's what they say. The ones that was mass genocide and all the natives on the planet, those were elementals that inhabit their bodies. That's what they say. Is it hard to believe? Hell no, it ain't hard to believe. Because the history written in bloodshed. I ain't trying to. It's not my aim to make a person feel bad because they live in a certain body. Remember, we are not the bodies. But history is the proof to verify and accumulate our thoughts on if a person has a soul as far as the race itself goes. And it is just a red flag in history that should be challenged when it comes to the Caucasian people. So a lot of black people, the natives on the planet, have always said behind closed doors, if they didn't say it in public, do they have a soul? Of course, a lot of us don't think they have a soul. But it's still debatable because some Caucasians do have a soul. Shit, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Okay? Because you have people like Count Saint Germain, which we know he had a soul. Okay? We know he had a soul. Then you got people like Franz Bardin, who took over the body of a 14-year-old Italian boy through transmigration. Then we have Lob Saint Tuesday Rampa, who took over the English. Lob Saint Tuesday Rampa, which was a Tibetan Lama, who became a Lama at the age of I think 14 maybe? Somewhere like that, maybe 14, 15. But he was like the most youngest Lama that shit ever been known. And to be a Lama is a very high order. Okay, you gotta master plants, herbs, the esoteric field and shit that the Western Hemisphere really don't know shit about. Okay, He had the master in hypnosis, telepathy, all this shit. Astral travel and all that. But he was a master in his field. And he transferred his he transferred his soul into the body of an English Caucasian. So just because a person looks like they're Caucasian, a person looks like they're Chinese, you don't know who the fuck in that body. When you deal with transmigration, you don't know who in that body. Thought the Atlantean, he used to take he would put his Atlantean body, which we know he was a black man, because shit, 36,000 years ago wasn't nothing but natives on the planet. Okay, we know this shit. Everybody know Enoch was black. Okay, everybody know Enoch was from Ethiopia, according to research. Okay, they called him Enoch the Ethiopian. I got books that's called him the Ethiopian. So we know Enoch was thought the Atlantean. Also, he was known as Tahuti in Egypt. But he would put his Atlantean body in suspended animation and take over the bodies of others through transmigration and go to different cultures and help them civilize themselves, and he will put them on their feet on the road to civilization and give them culture. Even though a lot of them twisted the culture up after he left and started a whole bunch of confusion and shit, like sacrificing and beheading and shit. But anyway, thought I'd speak on this because this is something that really needs to be addressed, because a lot of us have had questions concerning this. You see, I'm gonna say that before I get off this thing. To awaken the soul will put you into super consciousness, because you're able to go into a higher state of consciousness. This is what gives you super consciousness, awakening the soul. Once it activates or ignites the pineal gland, which is a miniature universe. If I didn't say it, I'm gonna say it again, but I think I said it already. So this gives you the consciousness, the cosmic consciousness. This puts you it literally taps you into the universe. This is the Christ consciousness. This is why I believe the Bible always say that, say stuff like, it makes it clear and plain that the Christ in the Bible is a black man, had feet of bronze as if it had been burnt in the oven. So that's a person about my skin tone, probably a little darker because it's burnt in the oven. Point is, this is what we call today a so-called black man, a native on the planet. Then they talk about he had woolly hair and shit. It never said that the Jesus in the Bible had features of a Caucasian. So in order to reach Christhood, you got to have the black body, what we call today the black body, because this is the conductor of the Most High, or cosmic current Kundalini, because it can totally digest it. It was designed for it. And this is another reason I believe that this black body has always been under attack. Anyway, until then, hope y'all learned something. Peace.